New details coming out this evening about a woman shot while in a rideshare.
Tonight, her boyfriend is locked up, charged with murder, and accused of putting an innocent rideshare driver in danger.
It's 2:15 in the morning. A Lyft driver pulls into the mobile gas mart on North Broadway, St. Louis. Another pickup. Another fare. Another night in one of the city's most dangerous neighborhoods. In 8 minutes, he'll be driving a dying woman to the hospital. Have you ever felt trapped in a relationship you couldn't escape? Trinity Staten felt that way tonight. So she did what experts tell you to do. She ordered a Lyft. Tried to leave publicly, with a witness present. It should have saved her life. Instead, it got her killed. North Broadway, 2:30 a.m., gas station parking lot. Trinity Staten, 29 years old, stands outside arguing with her boyfriend, Jeremie Northcross. 15 minutes of screaming, threats, escalation. She's done. She pulls out her phone, orders the ride. The silver SUV arrives. She reaches for the door handle, but Jeremie isn't letting her leave. Security cameras capture everything. A man in a yellow shirt circling the Lyft on a bicycle, blocking the exit. Then, the SUV pulls away, and Jeremie pulls out a gun. Multiple shots fired into the moving vehicle. People dive for cover. The driver floors it toward the nearest hospital, Trinity bleeding out in the back seat. She's dead minutes after arrival. And Jeremie? Still at the gas station. Calm. Changing his shirt. Here's the question that should terrify you. Why is leaving more dangerous than staying? Trinity did everything right. She left publicly. Didn't escalate. Just tried to walk away. And it killed her. If this hits close to home, hit that like button right now. Because before this video ends, I'm giving you 2 life-saving pieces of advice about escaping domestic violence. Information Trinity never got. Information that could save your life. But first, you need to understand what happened in those final 15 minutes. Because Jeremie Northcross had already decided, if he couldn't have her, no one would. Here's a question I would like us to discuss in the comments. Why is leaving an abusive relationship more dangerous than staying? And how do you survive it? Welcome to True Crime Footprint, where we unveil the darkest mysteries and the most terrifying true crime tales. Kindly hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new stories. Your support keeps these stories alive. Let's rewind. 1:45 a.m. Trinity and Jeremie pull into the mobile gas mart. Gas station employees notice them immediately, not because they're loud, but because the tension is suffocating. They're arguing hard. No one knows what started it. Money, jealousy, control. Doesn't matter. What matters is Trinity's face. The way she keeps glancing toward the street. The way her hands are shaking as she pulls out her phone. She's not texting a friend. She's ordering an escape route. 2 a.m. The silver SUV rolls up. Trinity moves fast. No goodbye. No explanation. Just straight toward that car door. This is it. Freedom is 10 feet away. But Jeremie sees her, and something in him snaps. He jumps on his bicycle, yellow shirt glowing under the gas station lights, and starts circling the Lyft like a predator cornering prey. The driver hesitates, looks at Trinity, looks at Jeremie. He doesn't know he's in the middle of a life or death moment. He just knows something's wrong. Trinity gets in anyway, slams the door, locks it. Drive. Please. Just drive. The SUV starts moving, slowly at first, then faster, and that's when Jeremie reaches into his waistband. Bang, bang, bang. Gunshots rip through the night. Glass shatters. People scream and hit the pavement. The driver doesn't think, he just floors it. Trinity's in the back seat, gasping, blood everywhere. Stay with me. Stay with me. He's racing to the hospital, running red lights, praying she makes it. She doesn't. Trinity Staten is pronounced dead shortly after arrival. 29 years old. Gone. Because she tried to leave. Here's what you need to understand. Trinity did what many experts recommend. She left publicly. Well-lit area. Third party present. But here's what they don't always tell you. The most dangerous time in an abusive relationship is when you're trying to leave. Statistics don't lie. 75% of domestic violence murders happen during or after separation. So if you're planning to escape, listen carefully. Never announce it. Don't give them time to react. Create a safety plan in secret. Pack essentials at a friend's house, not yours. Have a trusted contact who knows your location at all times. And if possible, leave when they're not around. No confrontation. No final conversation. Just go. Because the moment they realize you're leaving, that's when control turns into violence. Drop a comment if you've ever had to help someone escape a dangerous relationship. Your story might save someone watching right now. But here's where this case gets even more disturbing. While Trinity was fighting for her life in that Lyft, Jeremie Northcross didn't run. He didn't panic. He didn't flee the scene. He stayed calm, collected, and then he did something calculated. Something that proves this wasn't just rage. It was control. Most killers run. Jeremie Northcross didn't. While Trinity was dying in that Lyft, while the driver was screaming for help, Jeremie stayed at the gas station. Calm, unbothered, in control. And then he did something that proves this wasn't a crime of passion. He changed his shirt. Security footage captured everything. There's Jeremie. Yellow shirt covered in gunshot residue. Evidence clinging to every fiber. He peels it off. Tosses it. Pulls on a fresh one. Not panicking. Not running. Just cleaning up. Like he's done this before. Like he knew exactly what investigators would look for. This is what premeditation looks like. 2 hours pass. Police arrive. Witnesses point. Security cameras don't lie. Officers escort Jeremie to their vehicles. He doesn't resist. At the station, they read him his Miranda rights. And then, he confesses. Yeah, I shot at the car. Just like that. No lawyer. No denial. Just cold admission. Here's what investigators found. 9mm ammunition in his vehicle. Ballistics matched the shell casings at the scene. Perfect match. Security footage showing the entire sequence. The argument. The bicycle chase. The shooting. The shirt change. Eyewitness testimony from gas station employees and bystanders. And his own words. I shot at the car. The charges came fast. First-degree murder. That's premeditated. That's life without parole. Armed criminal action. That's mandatory consecutive time. No early release. Jeremie Northcross wasn't looking at years. He was looking at forever. Now let me tell you something critical. Jeremie's behavior reveals a pattern that abuse survivors know too well. The illusion of calm followed by explosive control. 1 minute he's quiet, rational, even apologetic. The next, he's monitoring your phone, controlling your money, isolating you from family, threatening violence if you try to leave. These aren't just red flags. They're warning signs of lethality. So here's what you do. Document everything. Screenshot threats. Save voicemails. Record incidents. Dates, times, details. Tell someone you trust. A friend, a coworker, someone outside his reach. Contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline. They're trained. They're confidential. And they can help you create an exit strategy that keeps you alive. Because the moment you recognize that pattern, calm, then control, then chaos, you're already in danger. Don't wait for it to get worse. It will. But Trinity's story doesn't end with Jeremie's arrest. Because in the hours after her death, the internet did what it always does. It started twisting the truth. Trinity Staten's body wasn't even cold yet. And already, the internet had an opinion. Facebook, Instagram, local news comment sections. Everyone had a theory. Everyone knew the real story. She was cheating on him. What was she doing out that late anyway? She probably provoked him. If she stayed home where she belonged, she'd still be alive. Speculation. Accusation. Victim blaming dressed up as concern. None of it true. All of it loud. Here are the facts. Security footage shows Trinity trying to escape. Not fight. Not confront. Escape. Gas station employees saw her order that Lyft. Saw her move toward freedom. She didn't provoke anything. She didn't deserve anything. She just wanted out. But facts don't go viral. Gossip does. And while everyone debated Trinity's choices, they forgot someone. The Lyft driver. No name in the reports. No follow-up story. Just the driver. This man showed up for a routine pickup and ended up cradling a dying woman in his back seat. Racing through red lights. Begging her to hold on. He didn't know Trinity. Didn't know her anything. But he tried to save her anyway. Now he's left with the trauma. The guilt. The replays in his head every time he accepts a late-night fare. Collateral damage in someone else's war. And he's not alone. Rideshare drivers in North St. Louis have been screaming for years, "We're not safe." Jason Edwards, Doug Mary, drivers who refuse to work North Broadway after 2 a.m., who skip entire neighborhoods just to make it home alive. Because Trinity's murder wasn't the first. Months earlier, Elijah Newman, 45-year-old Lyft driver, father of 5, was shot and killed in the same area. Same neighborhood, same risk, same outcome. 2 drivers, 2 tragedies, same streets. How many more people have to die before we admit that our streets and our relationships have become war zones? How many more names do we add to the list before we stop blaming victims and start holding killers accountable? If you think Trinity's story deserves to be heard, smash that like button and share this video. Her voice was silenced, but ours doesn't have to be. And while the world debated and dissected every detail of Trinity's life, a courtroom waited, ready to deliver the one thing Trinity Staten would never get: justice. First-degree murder. That's what prosecutors charged Jeremie Northcross with. Not manslaughter, not second-degree, first-degree. That means premeditation. Intent. The decision to kill before pulling the trigger. And the evidence? Overwhelming. Security footage. Clear as day. The chase, the shooting, the shirt change. Confession. His own words. "I shot at the car." Ballistics. 9mm ammunition in his vehicle matched the shell casings at the scene. Witnesses. Gas station employees. Bystanders. The Lyft driver. The defense had no cards to play. No alibi. No reasonable doubt. Just one question: would Jeremie take a plea or force Trinity's family to relive every horrific detail in court? We don't know the final outcome from the records available, but we know this: either way, Trinity's family lost. Her mother, her father, the people who raised her. They'll never hear her laugh again. Never celebrate another birthday. Never get that phone call saying, "I made it home safe." The Lyft driver? He carries the weight of that night every time he picks up a fare. Every time he sees a couple arguing in his rearview mirror. Rideshare workers across North St. Louis? They're terrified. Refusing pickups. Avoiding entire neighborhoods after dark. Because Trinity's murder wasn't isolated. It was inevitable. Here's what the numbers tell us. In 2024, 75% of domestic violence murders happened during or after separation. The most dangerous moment isn't the fight. It's the leaving. Trinity Staten knew that, and she still tried. Could this have been prevented? Maybe. If Jeremie had been flagged in a prior incident. If there was a restraining order. If someone, anyone, had intervened before it reached that gas station. But that's the tragedy, isn't it? We only act after the body drops. Subscribe if you want more stories like this. Stories that don't just entertain, but educate. Because the next Trinity Staten might be someone you know, a coworker, a neighbor, a friend scrolling through this video right now. And maybe, just maybe, this will be the reason they survive. Trinity Staten was 29 years old. She tried to leave. She did everything right. And she still died in the back of a stranger's car, gasping for air, 2 minutes from a hospital. This is the reality of domestic violence. This is the price of silence. And this is why we can't stop telling these stories. She ordered a Lyft to escape. She ordered a Lyft. And it became her hearse. Our hearts ache for Trinity's family. Words feel inadequate. But please know you are held in deepest sympathy and prayers. May you find strength and comfort in the memories of Trinity. Thank you for watching, for your attention, and for joining us on this journey of reflection. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and above all, stay safe. See you on our next video.